FOJ 64. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm cold, man. Like I think the entire nation is right now.
Yeah, I heard that North Carolina is about to or is about to get pelted with snow.
Oh, we got crushed over the weekend.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
yeah,
thought I heard. How
yeah.
many inches?
Starting. Well, it depends on where you're at. So starting, I want to say Friday around like 3 or 4 p.m., running through most of Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Charlotte got like 14 inches, so over a foot, and they're further south and
Yeah.
to the southeast than we are. So I'm up in Nashville area. We got probably about 6 or 7, I would say.
Okay, and that's not normal. Am I right?
No, no. Yeah. Normally we get about I would say, I think that like the average is like a foot of snow a year,
The total.
and half of it came in one day.
Oh man.
But what was worse than that is the wind, because the wind was just brutal.
Yeah.
And the one thing I've noticed, having lived now here for almost 4 years, 3.5 years, is it is far windier here than it ever was in Chicago. Except for downtown.
Really?
Downtown's different because coming off the lake is a different thing.
Yeah.
But
Really?
living up
Okay.
on the side here in the mountains, I mean, I got a weather station around this time last year for outside. And so I've been kind of like keeping track. Is like, man, like how long is this? What's up with this wind up here? Like whatever. And the wind is constant, so it keeps it cool, which is nice because usually it's a northern wind coming from, because we live on the north, I guess northeast-ish, but mostly northern face of the mountains here.
Hmm.
So we're mostly getting hit with north air, which is great. Keeps it cold, which is why it's not as cold as the rest of the South. But for 2 hours this morning, so today is Sunday, February 1st, from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., there was a 2 hour window
Hmm.
where the wind was averaging over 45 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. And we had a peak of 50. We had a gust of 50. That's the highest ever recorded so far. We've never
What
broken 50 until this morning.
what is your elevation? I know you said you're in the
We're like
mountains.
2550,
Oh,
2,550 feet, somewhere in that
okay.
area. Right? So
Yeah.
it's not like a huge amount or anything, but more than the 700. I think that was like Chicago
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
But yeah, averaged for 2 hours. And I don't mean like, dips and things. It was an average of 45 miles an hour for 2 hours.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah.
I know that I knew that was supposed to get some. My sister got some down in Atlanta. I saw some pictures online this morning of some ice showing up in Florida, of all places.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, snowstorm or winter storm. What is it? Is it Fern?
For something. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, has proven to be a something. We got just a little bit. I think it was Friday, Friday into Saturday or whatever it was. But I mean, it was really nothing, to be quite honest. And we finally are about to get above the 20-degree mark, I think, this week. And yeah, we'll be thankful for that. But God, I mean, if you're not ready for it, I mean, 6 or 7 inches of snow
Yeah.
is quite a bit.
Well, it's the mountains, and
Yeah.
nobody. I think the city does what it can. There are plows out and stuff like that, but it's not Chicago, right? We don't stock all that stuff.
Yeah.
We had ice last weekend. This weekend was snow. We just hunkered down basically starting Friday at noon. It was like, all right, we're not going anywhere until like Monday or Tuesday at the earliest. So,
Did they salt?
no.
Okay.
What I have seen is, that saltwater brine that they'll pre-treat
Yeah.
roads with.
Yeah.
That's the first time that I've seen it here in 3.5 years that
Oh, okay.
a road was treated. Now, our driveway is long and it kind of descends like a toboggan run almost. So we weren't
Yeah.
going anywhere, once it gets slippery. I've done that mistake once and I'm not
I
making
think
it.
I think we talked about that the
Yeah.
one time, and
Yeah.
it didn't work out too well.
It didn't work out for me or the Polestar, and it was not a great experience. Do not recommend. But
Yeah.
this was like, all right, we'll just hunker down. It's still, snow is covered. The nice thing about the window is it blows it around a little bit. So and it was like, it was that like light powdery snow. So it kind of
Sure.
just floats away. I tell you, it's not great for dogs and trying to find a place to do their business because they were not happy.
Oh, I bet.
about trying to figure that out. And it was cold. I mean, it feels like, let's see, right now it feels like 3 degrees. So it's been just a kind of a, for this year, a brutal cold, hovering around 5 degrees basically for the last couple of days. And the wind, is what contributes to that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, didn't do shit this weekend except stay warm and go out every 2 or 3 hours, bundled up in this winter jacket and trying to coax the the whatever's out of the dog.
Yeah, and how did that go?
It was hit or miss. Really kind of had to stay with it for a while. And I tell you right now, she does not like the cold, and on her paws was not a fan, and so she just didn't want to be out there. So yeah, I had to pick her up and then take her to the place and then drop her sort of in the general vicinity. Unfortunately, the snow had kind of blown some of that, but we had like the leaf blower out and we were trying to make spaces and stuff like that. But
oh man,
yeah, but she's a good girl.
Yeah. Oh well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we've discovered that our crew really enjoys the snow.
Mm-hmm.
They love running around in it.
Mm-hmm.
They love just being out there playing and stuff like that. So we made the move to the backyard. So I spent Saturday fixing granted, it was like 15 degrees, but I'm like, you know what? We were the issue was kind of forced upon us. So I fixed all our holes in the fence and, put some chicken wire up and all that stuff just to kind of get us through the winter. So we now have our very own dog park in the backyard.
Nice. That is such a huge quality of life improvement.
Man, are they loving it? I mean, we don't have to tether them anymore, and they are just running back and forth and around and around and around, and it is a good time in the backyard.
It's a game changer. You just kind of let them out, and you don't have to like stand there or watch them, or even just have them tethered. It's just makes a big difference.
Well, and especially the three of them, the tethers just get tangled, and then they, one pulls one in the other direction and stuff like that. So, well, I wasn't going to do it until the spring because I'm thinking, okay, it's too damn cold to get out there. But this week, unfortunately, we had a little incident where one of them ventured on the tether a little too far over into the neighbor's yard and did their business. Neighbors saw it. Now, granted, these aren't folks that we talk to very often. In fact, we hardly ever see them. They're renting the house next door, so they've only been there under a year. So let me ask you this. So if that situation happened to you, where you had a neighbor's dog come do their business in your yard, how would you handle it? And then I'll tell you,
as the neighbor?
As the neighbor. And then I'll tell you how they handled it.
I guess I don't know. I think I would be annoyed, honestly. But
I would too. For the record,
cleaned up after the dog and apologized, or like there was no contact. You cleaned it up, and then it was clearly like you're making efforts, to contain the dog. That's a different story. But since you really haven't had like much interaction with them, it's probably hard to do. Maybe proactively go over there and say, hey, sorry, my dog got here. I cleaned it up. I'm working on the fence this weekend. Sorry to be in trouble, something like that.
So we had one interaction with them a couple of months ago when it was just Charlie. We only had Charlie, and we discovered that the tether kind of went a little bit too far not up to their driveway or anything, just in the little side yard that is wide open to our yard. We live in suburban Chicago. Like every house is like on top of each other, blah, blah, blah. So we discovered that the tether went a little bit too far. So yes, there were a couple times where the dog would go over there, do his business. We would get it cleaned up. But the one time, unfortunately, she beat me to it. I was outside. She, we talked about it real quick. She was, she's one of those who obviously doesn't enjoy confrontation, but obviously doesn't like conversing with her neighbors very much either. So she's just like, hey, can you take care of it? I said, yes, I will take care of it, blah, blah, blah. Story's over. So I am working on Thursday, and it was just me that was home. All of a sudden, the doorbell rings about 3:30, and it is a Joliet police officer. And I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So
which kid is this?
That used to be my initial thinking, but luckily that's not the case anymore. So I'm like, what is going on? So I go upstairs. Mind you, I left the dogs in the basement because I'm like, okay, if they come up, they're going to go bananas or anything like that. So I
Mhm.
go upstairs, talk to the police officer. She says, hey, you've got a complaint from your next door neighbor that there's, you know, dog poop in their yard. I look over and, mind you, we had just cleaned it up like 2 days prior.
Mhm.
And there may have been something over there. I don't know. And so I said, you know what? I said, I'm cleaning it up today. I said, I'm sorry that happened. Yes, they only go out front because we can tether them out here. Our backyard has some fence issues. I'm going to fix it, blah, blah, blah. So she says to me, she goes, I understand. She goes, however, you've already been warned about this. I said, no, I have no written documentation of any warning about this. And she said, well, there is one on record. I said, well, I don't have one. So she said that because there was a warning, I get a ticket for $150.
Mm.
Then she asks me, how many dogs do you have? I said, well, we have 3. She said, well, the city ordinance only allows 2. I didn't know that.
Mm.
Nobody knows that. Usually it's not an issue. And I said, well, technically, 2 of them are adopted and we're fostering 1. And she says, well, you might have to rehome the 3rd one. And I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, granted, we're fostering this dog,
Yeah.
for 6 weeks for right now and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, so we're like, there's no way. So sure enough, I look up the ordinance. I didn't give the cop any attitude. I'm like, you know what?
Mhm.
She's just doing her job. Whatever. I can do the research later. So she gives me the ticket, yada, yada. She goes away. And I'm pissed off at our neighbor more than anything. So I'm like, there was a better way to handle this. But
Yeah.
it is what
Oh,
it
for
is. But
sure.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so animal control shows up at my house about an hour later, and I'm downstairs working. By this time, Michelle had come home from work. She is extremely pissed off, upset, crying. We're not bad people. I can't believe they do this to us. Yada yada, blah blah blah. So she's upstairs, the bedroom, laying down, all pissed off, and doorbell rings again, and I can see on the camera, I'm like, it's animal control, and I'm in the middle of
Mhm.
like my 5 o'clock cutoff for work. So
Yeah.
I text her. I'm like, hey, can you please get the door? She's like, I can't get the door. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, all right, fine. So they eventually left, but they left notes on the door saying, we need to make sure that your dogs are up to date on their shots and their vaccinations. And rumor has it you have 3, you can only have 2. I'm like, oh my God. So we look it up. Apparently, the ordinance in Joliet is you can have 2, but if you're fostering, you can have up to 4.
Mm.
So we're covered
Yeah.
there.
For right now, but that doesn't help you in the future.
No, it doesn't help us in the long run. And I guess, and we talked to the person who we got the dog from about this, and she said they don't give a shit unless there's an issue. Well,
Right.
obviously there was an issue. So I don't know how we're going to handle that going forward. But anyway, Saturday, I spent about 2 hours out in my backyard in about 15-degree weather, kind of fixing all the breaks in the fence and just putting temporary chicken wire up and all that kind of stuff just to make sure they had an enclosed place, which worked out great. They have not been in our front yard since. It's awesome. So that's good. So we got to figure out what to do in the long term here. We can foster this dog as long as we want until somebody wants to adopt it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the long term there. But I'm glad I got the fence done. I'm just pissed off at the fact that I was kind of forced to do it, but I should have done it earlier. I kind of take it as kind of my fault, but it is what it is.
Probably
But
should have done it earlier, but also just an asshole move by the neighbors.
oh, totally, totally. I mean, you want to talk about what is it? Dumbass of the week. I give it to my next door neighbor because I'm sorry, she
How
could
long
have
have they been
handled it
there?
a lot better. Less than a year. They just rent the house. They moved in last summer.
Hmm. Do you think they're
So
there for a long time?
I God hope not.
Hmm.
I really hope not. I have a feeling
Maybe they'll
it's
ride it out. Maybe you can ride it out and see when their lease is done, and once
maybe.
they're
I
gone, the
mean,
problem goes with it.
I have a feeling they're a Section 8. It's a single mom with her 3 kids, and the rents around here are pretty damn expensive. And I
Mhm.
don't know what the hell she does for a living, but I highly doubt she affords it on her own. I'm not one to judge. I'm just looking at the situation. So,
Mhm.
I just and I told the police officer, I said, look, lived here for almost 23 years. Never had a problem, never caused a problem. I don't want a problem. And she's like, I get it. She's like, she said, she goes, just pay the ticket. Try to follow up with what animal control is asking for as far as their shots and all that kind of stuff. Just make sure you are on record as a foster, and you're probably not going to have a problem going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
are
okay.
they up to date on all their vaccinations?
They
and
are.
stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have it all. I got to send it all in on Monday, and, all that stuff. So hopefully that'll be the end of it. But it's more annoying than anything,
It
to
is.
be honest with
It's
you.
just shitty too, and it just gnaws at the back of your brain too. It's like, what the fuck,
Well, and I think Michelle said it best. She said, with all the bullshit and all the stuff that's going on in the world these days, that this is what we're choosing to focus on.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I hear you. I get it. So, and again, I'm not mad at the cop. I'm not mad at animal control. They're just doing their jobs. I'm mad at my neighbor. So, yeah. But yeah, Michelle had some choice words for her within the house. She didn't yell at her or anything, but she had some choice words for our neighbor. So I don't see us getting together anytime soon.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But the dogs themselves are awesome. They're having a great time. They love being out in the backyard. It's like now you'd think you'd take them out. They don't want to come in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because they're busy playing and stuff.
Yeah.
So. But it's good. So.
Well, I guess that's
Yeah, it was kind of a downer, but we'll figure it out somehow.
Yeah. So you got some decisions then here if you can.
Yeah,
the foster or not, huh?
That's the thing. I mean, we've already officially adopted the other two, so they're not going anywhere. So as far as Peppy goes, we're hoping that, like I said, once we send everything away, send them to them, it just kind of, okay, they followed up, they've given us everything we need. Hopefully they don't follow up with anything. But as long as we're on record as the foster, it should be fine. Should be fine. And then hopefully the city of Joliet has better things to do.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Well, and just to clear that neighbor for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do anyway, but so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I wonder if it makes sense to steer clear or take the opposite and like go out of your way to like, try to befriend so that there isn't like an issue.
Yeah.
That's a tough we just kind of like hat in hand. Hey, look, we got a bad foot. Look, cops came over. Here's what happened. I don't want us to be on bad terms. How can we fix this?
I thought about that.
Why don't you come over for dinner or something like that?
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but I thought about that, trying to be, trying to diffuse the situation a little bit, because I'll admit that's something I'm pretty good at. I can handle that kind of thing pretty easily, and it's just a matter of, do I think that would do anything? Because I have talked to this lady before, and she's not real talkative. She's not real, an open armsy type person. She's not real receptive to conversation. She just, I've waved to her before. She won't wave back, that kind of thing. I think she's just very private and all that. They're not even home all that often, to be honest with you. So I think it's one of those where you just kind of, hey, we've done our part. You're never going to see our dogs in the front yard again unless we take them for a walk. So they'll be on a leash. So I don't anticipate being a problem for them anymore. So hopefully that just kind of makes it go away.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that sucks. But at least you got the fence done.
I did. And actually it wasn't as hard of a job as I thought. It was just basically out there with I put 2 posts up and out there with the chicken wire and a staple gun and just hit every open spot. And now the
just
dogs
make sure it's secure and they can't pry it free, especially if there's like a rabbit or something.
Well, I'm hoping that there's no reason for them to. I mean, when we let them out, we still watch them. So because we could still watch them from inside, there's plenty of room to see them in all angles. I do need to put a light out there for at night, because when it's dark, I mean, all 3 of these dogs are pitch black. You can't see squat out there. So that's a little nerve-wracking. So you got to kind of call them just to make sure you hear all 3 of them out there. So that once I get like a light with motion sensors on it, put that out there, then it'll be ideal for them. So that's the next step.
Yeah. Well, You know who else had a bad weekend? Is this boxer who lost his toupee in the middle of the fight?
Oh,
This?
no.
All right. I'll look up the name, but
My.
it's kind of all over the place. There was a professional boxing match, and dude got punched so hard, his hairpiece flapped off.
Wow.
Yeah.
First off, what are you doing boxing with a toupee on?
Well, yeah, exactly. Jarrell Miller.
Uh-huh.
It was knocked upward by a punch, and it was like half connected. And then in between rounds, I think it was, he like ripped it off and threw it into the crowd.
Oh.
So there's a souvenir for somebody.
Oh, wow. How does it say how old he is?
Let's see. I could probably find it.
I'm trying to think. God, if you're a professional boxer, are you that self-conscious about your hair?
I mean, apparently.
I guess.
He's 37 years old. He does heavyweight boxing and Muay Thai. And he's nicknamed Big Baby. So the fact that his hair flew off is awesome.
That's pretty, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So you'll see lots of pictures around of this poor guy with like a circle of where his hair used to be.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I think he did win the match, but yeah, the headlines write themselves. You know, like won it by a hair. Things like that.
Yeah.
But
wow, I don't know.
How embarrassing does that have to be?
Well, what's more embarrassing, the fact that he lost his toupee, or the guy that lost to the guy who lost his toupee?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping to never have that problem.
Get punched. I mean, that's cartoon. Get punched so hard, your hairpiece falls off.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the scene in Tommy Boy where David Spade's hair goes flying. Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah. That's really all I've got. Other than, sitting in the house all weekend and freezing my ass off, and this poor guy with his hair flying off.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Yeah, well, obviously because it's an off week for the NFL. It's the the week before Super Bowl week, so nothing's going on really. I know the Pro Bowl games are being shown on TV on Tuesday. I don't know if it's live or not, but Okay.
The Pro Bowl is something we have to talk about.
Let's talk about what a joke the Pro Bowl has become. So it used to be you made the Pro Bowl. Obviously, it's the equivalent of the All-Star game for baseball or basketball or hockey, whatever. When you made the Pro Bowl, you got to go to Hawaii, play the game. They played an actual game, which they don't do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a pretty prestigious thing. But the fact that Shedeur Sanders was named as a replacement player for, I think it was Drake May, I can't figure out why that happened or how that happened.
Well, it's because all of the choices before him are either injured or declined to play.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to figure out, okay, because there's really, if you break down the AFC, because I did this, the quarterbacking in the AFC outside of the guys who originally made it, which was Josh Allen, Drake May, and I can't even remember the third guy.
It was Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, thank you. Outside of those guys and Mahomes, who got hurt, obviously, there's not a whole lot left outside of the only two names that I could really think of that deserved it way more than him are Trevor Lawrence and
who declined.
He did decline. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah. They did. Look, Shedeur was not a top pick, but literally,
that makes me feel
everybody
a little bit better.
was either injured or opted out. Lamar
CJ
Jackson,
Okay,
Patrick
Lamar
Mahomes,
Jackson
Bo
hurt.
Nix, all hurt.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow was hurt. Trevor
CJ
Lawrence declined.
CJ Stroud was
Declined.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I feel a little bit better now that Sanders was that far down the line.
Well, he made it, and then so did Joe Flacco because of all the injuries.
Yeah, so
But look, it's an absolute joke.
Well, let's put it.
Don't even replace him. Like, why? Right. That's a participation trophy. That is a go into the Ring of Honor for 1 year of college football. It's such bullshit.
So the Cleveland Browns had 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yet they went 5-12 and their head coach got fired.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to take the job.
Right.
And that is, I believe that's Joe Flacco's first ever Pro Bowl.
Yes, it is.
And he's what, 41?
Yeah. I mean, do you think you're like, finally I made the Pro Bowl with that's how you get in? Yeah.
Yeah. Would you kind of decline as well? It's like, look, I don't belong there.
Yes, that is what they should do. They won't do it. What I think would be interesting to find out is if there is like something contractually that triggers money. Like, hey, if you make the Pro Bowl, here's a bonus for you.
I know for some guys it does. I think that's negotiated.
For some guys, yeah. And I think, obviously, what I mean is like contractually with the team, right? Not like the NFL provides it. It's like, hey, if you make the Pro Bowl, here is an incentive for you.
I know for some they negotiate that into their contract with the team. I think the Pro Bowl guys get paid by the league.
Yeah, there's definitely like a league bonus. I'm just thinking more of the team status. And I wonder if Shedeur Sanders' agent thought ahead enough to say, hey, why don't we just throw this in there for kickers? Probably not going to happen, Shedeur, but you never know.
Yeah, I don't know if rookie contracts are...
Oh, yeah, it is a rookie contract. Well, maybe Joe Flacco then.
Yeah, I don't know if rookie contracts are allowed to have that. I think they're all pretty standard. I could be wrong on that. But once you negotiate a free agent contract, I think you can put it in there.
Yeah.
Because they get money for, they can negotiate for making the playoffs, for making the Super Bowl, for winning the Super Bowl, all that kind of thing. So, bonuses, and that kind of helps teams work around the salary cap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, respectfully declined Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers. Injured Daniel Jones, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, and then the 3 that were voted in: Drake May, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Who are, I think, all hurt as well.
Well, yeah, because obviously Sanders replaced Drake May, so Flacco replaced who? Herbert?
And, I don't remember. Probably Allen or Herbert, because Herbert broke his hand and Allen has a foot injury.
Okay.
And Bo Nix also has a broken ankle. So like everybody got hurt in the playoffs, right? So
yeah. Wow.
So that left Shedeur, Joe Flacco, and Joe Burrow. Those are the 3 remaining healthy quarterbacks in the AFC.
Oh, so Burrow went to the Pro Bowl anyway?
Yes. But he's injured.
Wow. Jesus.
I mean, like this is the kind of stuff where it's like it dilutes the value of being a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders can now walk around saying, "Yeah, I made the Pro Bowl. I'm a Pro Bowl quarterback."
Yeah, I guess he can. Unfortunately, wow.
Talk about Mr. Beaning or ass backwards away into the award.
Yeah.
Like, you can't feel good about that, man. As like a player, like this is how you get in. Like it's literally a participation trophy for him.
Yeah, and I saw Nashawn Wright was a replacement, so he's there as well with Byard and Drew Dahlman and Joe Tooney. So
yeah, look, I mean, there's no reason for like I think they should just get rid of like the game of it and just
make the list,
award it, and just be done with it because nobody wants to play in this thing. No, do fans really want to see this anyway? Like, I don't care to watch anything about Pro Bowl.
Is it still in Hawaii? It used to be cool.
Idea.
I remember it used to be cool. They made a big deal about it being in Hawaii.
But
And then
okay, so even if it is in Hawaii, who cares?
like it
It's not a
like it was
good game.
no, it's a terrible game. But I mean, it
Yeah.
was a trip to Hawaii, so the players had fun with it. They
Well,
bring their family
okay,
out
so
and
the
shit.
players is fine, but as a fan, who gives a shit about the Pro Bowl?
No, nobody does. Nobody
Right.
does.
If
And then
anything,
once
I'd like to see more of like a skills competition. Like that would be more interesting.
well, I think isn't that more of what they do now?
I think they do some of that, but they do like a flag game as well.
Like a flag game, which I'm sure somebody's going to get hurt in at some point, and that'll kill that.
But I would rather they keep the prestige of being a Pro Bowler versus trying to shoehorn this into a made-for-TV event.
I agree with you there. So, yeah, I don't know what Tuesday night's going to look like. I don't know. Are you going to watch it? I doubt I'll watch it.
No interest whatsoever.
Yeah,
like it just doesn't. It doesn't feel good. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. So I lied. I forgot about the Shedeur Sanders thing. And then I did forget. I had one other thing. Is I texted you this picture. I don't remember where I found it. It was one of the NFL pictures. It was about the head coach for the Patriots and all the coaches that were fired.
Oh, Vrabel, yes.
We have Vrabel, right? So week one,
and his
the coach
schedule.
was fired. Yeah, and his schedule. And it goes week by week. Fired coach, fired coach, fired coach. And NFC South. Like all the coaches that were fired, as well as,
Yeah.
like just usually you hear players as being a coach killer. Rarely is a coach killer. I texted you.
It was like 10 or 11 dudes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was all 11 or like 10 of them were on their schedule this year.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy when I saw that stat.
Yeah. And what's interesting is as guys get hired, there's not a lot of retreads.
No, it seems like there's a little bit of a musical chairs. I think the one that did surprise me was McCarthy going to Pittsburgh because he just wasn't on anyone's radar. I don't think, but
yeah. Whatever. And then what is it? I was surprised Stefanski got another job quickly.
I think he's
a good coach.
He's actually well regarded.
Yeah. And it looks like Matt Nagy's going to get aced out because he got basically let go by the Chiefs to go pursue a head coach job and then didn't land a job. And now he doesn't have a spot with the Chiefs anymore. So I don't know what he's going to do for a year.
That's a darn shame.
Yeah, I know. And then, what is it? I think the Bears have lost, is it 3 coaches?
Yeah, I think they lost at least a couple. They lost their assistant GM.
That's what it is. 2 coaches and their assistant GM.
Mm-hmm.
So they lost their offensive coordinator, which I don't think is that big a deal because it's not like he called the plays. So
yeah,
whatever.
And that's the only reason I think that he was able to go.
Right.
Was because this new position allows that.
He will call the plays. And then they lost their running backs coach, Bieniemy, because he's going back to Kansas City as their offensive coordinator, which he was their offensive coordinator for like 9 years prior. So, and then they lose their assistant GM to Atlanta. Now, this is an interesting one because normally when you lose a front office guy to another position, you get draft pick compensation. But they're saying the NFL, I guess, has said, I don't know if it's being reviewed or not, but the NFL has said that Ian Cunningham, assistant GM for the Bears, is now going to be the GM in Atlanta. But since Matt Ryan is like executive vice president of operations, so he oversees the GM, the Bears don't have a guy on the football side that does this. This essentially makes it a lateral move because he's still the number 2 guy in Atlanta. So they're saying because of that, the Bears don't get any draft pick compensation. Normally they would get, I think it's 2 third-round picks. One this year and one next year. But they're saying because he's the number 2 here, he's going to be the number 2 there, they get nothing. That kind of sucks. I don't know what Ian Cunningham did for the Bears as far as, was he valuable? Was he...
Yeah, I don't know.
I know the only thing I know about him was he was the guy who said... He was the guy who was convinced that Odunze was still going to be there at number 9 when a bunch of the other guys did not think he would still be there.
Okay. Cool.
I know.
Like, all right.
And now we're wondering if Roman Dunze was worth a number 9 overall pick.
I mean, he shows flashes,
Yeah.
injured, I guess.
He'll get
but
better. He'll get better. He needs to get better.
I don't want to write him off yet. I think it's still too soon.
Oh no, I know. But
Yeah.
and apparently Cunningham is like a pretty savvy guy with a salary cap, so hopefully they can get a guy who can help Poles work through that, because they've got some cap issues, as we've talked about many times.
Either that or get yourself a Chat GPT subscription and you're good.
Yeah, there you go.
Or Gemini. I prefer Gemini these days.
Yeah, I like Google Gemini. I tend to use Google Gemini more than I use Google. So
yeah, kind of getting hard to ignore.
yeah. It is. So with this being Super Bowl week, Jeff, I have a list of, actually it's 21, but I'm going to play 20 questions with you regarding the history of the Super Bowl.
Okay. I am not going to do well at this because I can't remember yesterday.
Oh.
Average ticket price for the Super Bowl. So this is all tickets.
All tickets.
And just a straight average, not like based on quantity of seats and things like that. Just
straight average.
I'm going to say I'm torn between $1,500 and $2,000 a ticket.
The average ticket price of the Super Bowl is $7,500. Prices start at $6,500.
Okay, well, I'm not going to Super Bowl anytime soon.
Now, for a little context, the first Super Bowl was paid in 1967. Do you know what prices for tickets were then? What was the average ticket price then, and what were the cheapest seats?
In 67?
1967.
The average price?
Yes.
$10.
It was 12.
Okay. And the cheapest seats were $2.
There were 6.
6. Okay.
And it was played in the LA Memorial Coliseum, which is where USC plays its college football nowadays. 67,000 people were there. They had 30,000 empty seats.
Wow.
Because apparently 30,000 people thought that $6 was too much.
Yeah, well, for a new league and a new,
That's right.
People were really not knowing what it was.
And I learned it wasn't actually called the Super Bowl until Super Bowl III. I guess the first 2 games were basically championship games between the AFL and the NFL.
And this was before the merger.
This was before the merger. The merger was basically the year Super Bowl III happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Jeff, what is the price tag of a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl?
$5 million.
It is $8 million. For 30 seconds.
How many AI ads do you think we'll see in the Super Bowl? Meaning, like the ad is a AI generation.
Company?
Yeah, no, not a company, but like the ad itself is like AI in some way. Like Coke with their kind of weird AI.
Yeah.
That they're running.
I would guess, I don't know, 30%. I mean, 1 out of 3. What do you think?
Okay, that's a lot. I think it's going to be lower. I think after the backlash from Coke and over the winter, and they had just a terribly received AI ad.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be a little more subtle, or it's going to lean hard into the like absurdity of the AI. Okay. And it'll be something like, "Hey, we paid $8 million. Here's 30 seconds of AI slop."
Like it, okay, like almost
total, making, and like lean hard right into like, yeah, this is shitty, and we know it. Buy our
like
product.
Making fun of it.
Yes,
essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see a little of both. I could see a little.
I kind of hope I see something like that because that could be funny.
It could.
Yeah.
But I also think that some companies are going to really use AI to help generate something really cool. So
if it's done right, and yeah, why not? They're already using special effects for other stuff, so this is just another special effect.
Okay. What team, and I think you'll know this, what team has played in the most Super Bowls?
Steelers?
No, it's the Patriots.
Really? Okay.
They played in 11.
How many of the Steelers played in?
Steelers have played...
Oh, that's Gemini.
Yeah, I would ask Gemini on that one because I didn't write it down. However, okay, what team has the most Super Bowl wins? There's a tie.
Hmm. Is New England one of them?
Yes, with 6.
49ers?
They have 5.
Hmm. Who is it?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, I was
Pittsburgh
going to
also
say
has
Steelers.
6.
Yeah, like that's why you set me up like that.
Yeah. Okay, now what
Steelers
team?
have played in 8 Super Bowls.
Okay, so they're 6-2. Solid.
Yeah. And how many Super Bowls was it? 11
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
Patriots? Okay.
Which, okay, do the math. Who has the most losses?
The Patriots.
They're tied, but yes, with 5. Who's the other team that has lost the Super Bowl 5 times?
Buffalo?
Denver.
Okay. I mean, no, Buffalo lost 3 in a row, so that was like
They lost 4. They lost 4 in a row. They lost 4 in a
right.
row, and those are the only 4 times they've been. Okay, how many times has the Super Bowl gone into overtime?
How many Super Bowls have there been?
I think this is Super Bowl 59. Either Super Bowl 59 or Super Bowl 60.
I'm going to say somewhere between 10 and 15.
It has only happened twice.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Super Bowl 51, where the Patriots had the big comeback against the Falcons.
Hmm.
And Super Bowl 58, it was Chiefs 49ers.
Okay. Said I'm not going to be very good at this. I can't remember anything.
What year?
Anything of importance, anyway.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, I just told you that the average ticket price of the Super Bowl this year is $7,500. What year was it the most? What year was the most expensive Super Bowl for tickets? As in, what year was the lowest price the most ever?
I mean, got to be 2 marquee matchups.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't say what teams played, but it was 2024. The cheapest ticket price was $8,700.
So who played 2024?
I don't remember.
Let's see. 49ers Chiefs.
Oh, there you go. When it went into overtime. So hey, they got their money's worth.
Yeah. It was a steal. It was a value. You're losing money not buying those tickets.
Okay, what head coach has the most Super Bowl wins? And it's by quite a bit.
Lambeau.
Belichick.
Really?
He won the Super Bowl 6 times with the Patriots.
I thought it was just like one of those, tricks where it's like, yeah, it's some old guy.
No, he has 6, and the next most is Andy Reid with 3.
Okay. And yet nobody's sniffing around Bill Belichick for a head coach position here.
Nope.
It happens when you go crazy and you hire however old this young girl is. That's like his new PR person.
Yeah, and how is he not a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get that.
That seems to be like he's getting like blackballed somehow.
Yeah, we could discuss that later. All right. Who has the most wins? This should be easy. Who has the most wins as a player in the Super Bowl?
Oh, Mr. Brady.
Yes. How many?
At what, 6? 7?
7.
7, yeah, because he's got it for Tampa Bay too. Yep.
Yes. Now, who has played in the most Super Bowls?
Not Brady.
It is Brady.
Is it?
He's played in 10 Super Bowls.
Jeez. And he played, how many seasons did he play?
I thought it was 22.
Half of his
he made the Super Bowl almost
seasons
half the time.
Ended in the Super Bowl, whether win or lose. That's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, how long is the average national anthem in the Super Bowl? How long does it take? Because usually you can bet on this.
Yeah,
the over under. The average is 1:50, but can you guess what musical artist had the longest? It was in Super Bowl 47.
I have no idea.
This is Alicia Keys at 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
Should stretch another almost a minute?
Yeah, extra 45 seconds. Isn't that crazy?
Jeez.
Okay,
that's the kind of song you just shut up and sing and be done with it.
Yeah, right. Okay, back to the football part. Who holds the record for the most passing yards in a Super Bowl?
Kurt Warner?
Nope.
Tom Brady.
Yes.
Just to answer Tom Brady for everything.
In 2018, he threw for 505 yards in the Super Bowl.
Jeez.
And still lost. Okay. How many teams in the NFL have never made the Super Bowl?
2 or 3, I think.
The answer is 4. Can you guess them?
No, I cannot.
Take a shot. I bet you could. I'll bet you could do it.
Teams that have not made the Super Bowls.
1 NFC and 3 AFC teams.
Arizona Cardinals?
Nope. They made it with Kurt Warner, who did make the Hall of Fame this year, by the way. Anyway.
That's well deserved, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great story.
Oh, yeah.
Detroit?
Yes.
Okay. And then
They're
the rest are in the AFC?
NFC team to never make the Super Bowl.
Okay. And what is, you said 3 are in the NFC?
3 AFC teams.
Okay. Who's bad? Well, Jacksonville?
Yep.
They won. Jacksonville's won. Okay.
They've been to a conference title game. They've never been to a Super Bowl. One we just talked about a little while ago.
Oh, the Browns. I don't think the Browns have.
They never have.
They have like the longest. And then, so does it count if the team has moved? So I'm thinking of like the Oilers / Texans.
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. So is it taking it in? Is it taking just the Texans or just
the
like
Oilers
their entire franchise history? Okay.
The Oilers never made it either, and I think the Oilers did they become the Tennessee Titans?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah. But the Browns didn't make it as the Browns. Then they went to Baltimore to become the Ravens. They made it as the Ravens, but then the Browns came back, and the Browns still have never made it.
Browns that's a shit franchise, man.
No pun intended there.
Yeah.
Okay, what city has hosted the most Super Bowls?
I'm gonna say either Miami or LA.
It's Miami and New Orleans.
Okay, yeah, somewhere warm.
With 11. Okay, name the 2 teams that have played in the Super Bowl at their home stadium.
LA.
Uh-huh.
And New Orleans? Minnesota?
Nope.
Is it a domed stadium?
No, it is not.
Not? Okay. Then Oakland?
No.
/ Las Vegas?
No.
San Francisco?
Nope. They could have this year.
Yeah, well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. AFC or NFC?
NFC.
Oh, Tampa Bay.
Yes, that is correct.
Was it with? It was with
Brady.
Right? Yeah.
Brady and Gronkowski and
yes.
Okay, I don't think you'll get this one. Who holds the record for the most rushing yards in the Super Bowl? This was a while ago.
Thurman Thomas?
No.
Emmitt Smith?
No, same last name. I don't think you'll get it, though.
I don't know then.
It's a guy by the name of Timmy Smith for the Redskins. In Super Bowl 22, ran for 202 yards. And the ironic thing about that, it was his first career NFL start due to injury.
Oh, wow. Well, good for him. Never heard of him.
Yeah, never heard of him, and we never really heard from him after that.
Right, yeah. What year was
that? Super Bowl 22, which would have made it in January of 1988.
Yeah.
Okay. How cold was the coldest Super Bowl ever? Not as cold as you think, or not as cold as you might think, but it was outside because now Super Bowls are usually played in warm weather or domes.
I'm gonna say something like around freezing, like 30 degrees or something
39 degrees in Super Bowl 6, where they played at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans, and Kansas City beat Minnesota.
And somebody probably paid $10 to sit in that cold and watch.
Yeah, right? Well, prices may have gone up by then. So maybe,
all right, so 12.
maybe hit 15 or something like that by then. Okay. This is a Bears connection. Okay, so that is your clue to this. What is the largest Super Bowl ring ever made for a player? What size and who was the player?
Like the ring size?
Yep.
The fridge?
Refrigerator Perry wore a size 25
Jeez.
Super Bowl ring for Super Bowl 20. It's the largest.
I'm looking at my
ever
R ring, which is an 11, and I think my wedding ring is like a 9.
Yeah, right.
9.5.
The Lombardi Trophy. How much do you think that trophy is worth?
Like materials or like on the black
Just
market?
the trophy itself. What is its value?
Well, I'm still trying to think, like, how do you calculate the value of the trophy? Is it like the
What do you think
materials
the
go into it?
What do you think the NFL pays to have that made? And what do you think it would sell for? Like, what is its just regular street value?
I don't know what it would sell for because I think it depends on which trophy.
I'm not talking like Pawn Stars here. I'm just talking about the regular old Lombardi Trophy.
Like, how much does the NFL pay to have one created?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I don't know, 75 to 100,000.
50 grand.
Really? Well, that's a steal.
Made out of pure sterling silver. It's made in Rhode Island, of all places.
Oh, okay.
Now,
silver? I always thought it would have been something better than that.
I'm shocked at this. How much do you think the Lombardi Trophy weighs?
Oh, it's pretty heavy, isn't it?
It's not.
It's not?
No. And I was shocked by this. Because the football part of the trophy is the size of an actual football. And it's made out of sterling silver. It weighs 7 pounds. And that's it.
So then the football can't be, like, solid then. It must be hollow.
Well,
or something,
it's got to
right?
be hollow. Yeah.
Like,
I'm thinking, because you see players raise that thing all the time. But I'm like, these dudes are strong. So I'm still thinking it's got to weigh like 20, 25 pounds. Like I know that, like, the Stanley Cup is heavy.
Wait, so they're paying $50,000 for a trophy that weighs 7 pounds?
That's what I thought. Man. That's nuts. So, okay, 2 more for you. Mm-hmm. Who has won the most Super Bowl MVPs? And I think you're probably going to know this. Yes. How many did he win?
6?
The answer is 5.
Okay.
Who is second on that list? With 3.
Montana?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times has the Super Bowl MVP come from a losing team?
Oh, that's a good question.
It has happened.
Who was the last one to do it? Do you know?
The last one to do it, and the only one to do it, was a guy by the name of Chuck Howley for the Cowboys in Super Bowl 5. He was a linebacker when the Cowboys lost to the Colts.
You must have had one hell of a game.
I guess.
Never heard of him. I don't know.
Oh, here's the last one for you, and I was a little shocked by this too. On average, how many actual footballs do you think are used in the Super Bowl?
Entire game?
Yes.
Are used. So I'm going to say, I feel like this is it's either like a ridiculous number or like a trick. I'm going to go with what I think is a ridiculous number, 200.
It's 120.
120 footballs. Okay.
Which I
30 per quarter.
Which I still think is ridiculous. So 30 per quarter, that means they're changing out the football every 30 seconds.
Or they're losing them.
Where
to the crowd, to players scoring. I guess not losing them, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, you keep the ball for the touchdown, right? Or
yeah, but 100.
Like, why would you? Like, why do you? So on average, you're changing out the football 30 times.
Yeah.
In one quarter.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean.
2 per minute.
It's every 30 seconds, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to think of why would you. So, let's say. I mean, it's almost every play, right?
Right.
Because, but I'm thinking, why would you do that? So, obviously, with a drop pass, the ball could get scuffed off the ground. I mean, it's kind of like a baseball, right? So if there's a scuff on the ball, they throw it out.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yes. They go through an average of over 200 baseballs every Major League Baseball game. It's crazy.
Yeah, but a lot of those, that's what I think is like a lot of men in the stands, right? Foul balls and.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that, but so if like a pass is dropped or say you get tackled with the ball gets scuffed on the ground. I don't know. And every ball obviously is handmade. I mean, they're all handmade. So, yeah, that's why that was wild to me. And I think what is it? Each team also I read gets like 64 footballs for practice for Super Bowl footballs for practice. So it's another 128 footballs that they get to
I mean, I
use.
guess I could see like maybe for like weather, like if you're drying the football off right or something like that. But
Yeah,
maybe there's something with technology in it now,
but
with like the tracking.
if you're playing in a dome or you're playing in warm weather, I mean that doesn't.
Yeah,
I just thought that was wild.
yeah, that's a lot.
So
I feel like somebody's making money off that to sell game balls, you know?
oh yeah, like on the like eBay or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Wilson that makes footballs. Yeah.
Somebody's making a lot of money off these. They're like taking the game balls and they're selling them for game balls, even though it's like, yeah, it was like played for one snap and nobody cares.
Game used footballs. Crazy.
Those are
Funny
good
how.
stats.
Yeah, that's my Super Bowl trivia for you.
Okay. Well, here's some breaking news. My wife just texted me that Lady Gaga has won Best Pop Album for the Grammys that are taking place right now.
Hey.
All right. I'm a Lady Gaga fan. I like her. I think she's a very talented artist.
She's ultra talented. Absolutely.
I prefer her older stuff myself, but
I do as well. I don't like everything that she's done, but I know she is very talented, and there are some stuff that I do enjoy. That's good. So, do you know, Jeff, in a career, who has won the most Grammy Awards?
I do not.
It's Beyonce.
Okay.
Can you take a stab at how many awards she's won?
I have no idea because I do not follow any of that stuff. 100, 50,
30,
I don't know what's
35. 35.
Okay.
But how many nominations has she had?
50, 100,
99.
Okay. Well,
that's pretty wild.
You know what Jay-Z once said: "Got 99 nominations, but a Grammy ain't one or something."
That's right.
There's the joke somewhere there.
Yeah. So, okay. Now, do you know what group has won the most Grammys? Most Grammy wins by a group.
I don't.
Just take a wild guess.
Am I going to know them?
Pretty popular group. Oh yeah.
What genre of music?
I would say rock, pop rock. Big in the 80s, 90s, little 2000s. And they're still around playing. No, but they're still playing a little. You know, they do stuff here and there. I mean, obviously they're getting older, but they were enormous in the 80s and 90s, and I guess early 2000s.
U2?
Yes.
Okay.
22 Grammy Awards. Now,
I don't like U2's fine, but I don't really like them all that much. There's a couple of good songs.
They're not in my top 10, but yeah, I like U2. They're cool.
I think my favorite is Bullet the Blue Sky.
Yeah, that's a good song. I think the biggest connection I have to U2 is, believe it or not, when I was younger, somebody would go around spray painting U2 all over like the electrical boxes and the pathways, and there was a huge mysterious YouTube fan that just loved to spray paint U2, and everybody was like, "The hell is this U2?" And then when I got older, I figured out who it was. I'm like, wow. But yeah, it was U2 all over green trails in Lisle, Illinois, way back when.
Huh?
Okay, so who owns the most Grammy wins by a rapper?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you were that.
I just know a name. I just know the name, and I know he's right.
I didn't know you were that in tune with the rap world. But can you guess how many he's won?
He hasn't been around that long, so I'm gonna say 10 or 15.
It's 26.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him. I don't know any of his stuff. I'm just not into it. I just know the name, and I know the Super Bowl thing from last year, which I thought was good.
Hey, they not like us. That's all I'm telling
Yeah, right.
you.
And
uh,
you know,
who is the youngest Grammy Award winner? It is she was a country singer back when, and it's not Taylor Swift.
uh, country. You're asking the wrong person, man.
LeAnn Rimes was 14 years old when she won a Grammy Award. And
Okay.
you'll never get this, but I'll just obviously you'll not get the name, but I'm gonna see if you can guess the age. The oldest Grammy winner ever was in 2011 by the name of Pine Top Perkins. How old was this person? Can you guess?
Okay,
And
so
it's
first
pretty.
of all, what's the Grammy for?
It was like best traditional album, whatever
Oh,
traditional means.
okay. 85,
Older,
100,
a little younger,
95.
97.
Okay. I ain't got no time for that.
Okay, now there's a tie for this one. Who won the most Grammys in one awards ceremony? There's a tie. I think
What
if you
genre?
one was pop, and the other one is kind of pop rock. If you think about it, I think you'll get one of them. I think you'll get the pop one. I mean, this is an all timer.
Michael Jackson?
Yes, when the Thriller album came out in 1984, he won 8 Grammy Awards in one night.
Okay.
And was
And then,
tied.
so the other one is pop rock.
Yeah, it was tied in the year 2000. And the clue I'll give you is it's like a duets type album. So one artist who collaborated with various
Oh.
other people.
Not Prince, right?
No.
I feel like there's only a handful of artists that are like get other big people to like play with them.
Yeah.
Probably not like Tom Morello because it gets too soon.
No.
Because he does a lot of that stuff. Santana?
Yeah, it was Santana.
Okay.
The year that they did that Rob Thomas
Yeah.
of
That
Matchbox
song
20
was
and all
everywhere.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So year 2000. So they both had 8.
Okay. Well, as Conan used to say, in the year 2000.
Conan was nuts, man. He was.
He's still nuts.
I enjoy Conan.
He is. I have grown to appreciate him more and more the older I get, and
Yeah.
just listening to his podcast and all the shenanigans, I just think he's just a fun guy.
He is he's very entertaining. Okay, the last one I have for you. Most nominations without a win. You will never guess who this person is. He is a classical producer. His name is Morten Lindberg. But how many nominations did he have without winning once? Let's take a while.
What is he?
He is a classical producer.
He's been nominated 50 times.
He's been nominated 28 times.
28 times, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Now, can you name the performer who's been nominated the most times without a win? It is somebody that you know. I have 3 of them here, first, second, third, and I think you'll know all 3 of them.
So
one of them,
are they popular?
Actually, 2 of them are very popular right now. One of them has been popular for a long time. The other one is popular now, and he's done multiple genres of music. And then the other one was an R&B guy from like the 90s, 2000s. But I think you'll have heard of him.
And this is for any sort of thing? Are they like performers?
Yes, all 3
or
of these
like
guys are
mixing
they're
and mastering, right?
So no, they're artists. They're actual artists.
Taylor Swift?
No.
Oh, wait, so they've never won.
They've never won. This is the most nominations without a win.
Am I on the right track? Like a pop person?
No, I don't think so.
Is it rock or rap?
One is kind of. He's more. Let's see. One is rap, and then the other is. He's done some rap, a little bit of rock. I think he's into country now.
Guy with all the tattoos.
Yeah.
Guy looks like he looks like he's
homeless.
Perpetually
Looks like
stoned.
homeless. Yes.
What's his name? Oh, Post Malone.
Yes, he is.
I
He has the most.
I don't like anything he does. I just
I'm
can't get
not a
into him at
fan.
all.
I'm not a fan
Yep.
either. The only thing I actually liked was that project he did during COVID when he covered a bunch of Nirvana songs. I thought that was actually really good.
The one
But
thing was okay, but
yeah, I
there's a
liked
lot of
it.
good covers.
There are, but I don't really care for any of his original stuff. But Post Malone has been nominated 18 times without a win, and I can totally understand why he hasn't won because I don't enjoy his stuff that much either.
It's a little bit surprising only because I know he's really popular.
He
Like,
is
just
very
because he's not
popular.
for me, like that's fine, right? I don't have to like everything or
He
agree
is
with
very
everything.
popular.
But it does
Okay,
surprise me that he hasn't won.
so the next highest is 17 by that 90s R&B guy. Have you ever heard of Brian McKnight?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 17 nominations and never won.
Hmm.
And then the next guy is 16. He's a rapper. He is freaking everywhere
It can't be.
except the Grammys. Yes, it can.
Really?
Say it.
Man, Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
He has never won a Grammy Award.
And he's been one of the most consistent producers of stuff too, like putting stuff
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Like, I don't think his was it the Dog Pound or whatever it was?
Dude, Doggy Style came out.
Doggy Style.
Doggy Style came out when I was in high school.
Yeah, and phenomenal. Right, could still listen to
Oh,
it
yeah.
start to finish.
Yeah. Gin and Juice is a classic.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like he's kind of like sold out a little bit. It's kind of like Ice-T, right? He's like everywhere now, and he's kind of like he's not as hard as he used to be. If that makes sense.
When you're hanging out with Martha Stewart and
Right.
you're, covering, you're on the part of the Olympics coverage for NBC. Yeah, and I mean he's the dude's got it all, man.
Yeah. Like he's turned it into a whole like thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's never won a Grammy Award, and I'm convinced that you could release Doggy Style today, and it would be just as big as it was back then.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still listen to it today. It's 30 years later, almost, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's more than that. I think you're talking like 35 years later.
So here we are, you, a man of very advanced age, me,
yes.
Be 50 later this year, and on our classic channels, you're gonna hear Gin and Juice.
Yeah, that's right. Gin and Juice would almost qualify as an oldie.
Yeah, exactly. That's like that. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all this stuff. Gravity Kills. I mean,
I know.
Offspring.
I was coming home from baseball practice today, and that's when I listen to like my Spotify's most of the time. I was throwing the playlist, and I'm very disciplined. I don't hit skip ever because I figure if I hit skip, it's not worthy of the playlist. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
unless
yes
I'm in
and
the
no,
mood.
only because it might be something I've heard. Teresa, I'm like, I'm not in the mood for that right now.
But I try not to hit skip.
Okay.
But I came across a song today that I haven't heard in a while, and I was like, man, this thing it wasn't all that like mainstream, but do you remember the band Faith No More?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
they have
big
a fantastic album. Shit, what's the name of it? It's not the
everybody knows
Epic.
the song Epic. Everybody knows that song.
Yeah. Let me look it up.
But I came across the song Midlife Crisis today. You ever heard Midlife Crisis by them?
No, I don't know if I have.
Oh man, that is a really good rock song. So if you ever get the chance, and maybe if you turn it on, you'll remember. You'll be like, oh yeah. But that is a good song. And
I've always been a massive fan of Last Cup of Sorrow.
Oh yeah,
just a killer thing. And I tell you right now, I saw them at the World Music Theater. I have no idea what it's called. The thing in Tinley Park or Orland Park, whatever it is.
Yeah, sure.
One of the best performances I've ever seen of any band was Faith No More. Fantastic live.
Their lead singer, I think his name is Mike Patton. He's been in a lot of different bands. He does a lot of stuff. One of his better side projects is Mr. Bungle, which is called Mr. Bungle. That's worth checking out too. But yeah, Faith No More, Midlife Crisis. Yeah, what was it called? The Last Bag of Sorrow? Is that what?
Yeah,
Is that
Last Cup of Sorrow.
Last Cup of Sorrow. Yes, that was
Yeah.
a solid tune as well.
Yeah, and actually, that's the album that I saw them. They were touring on that album. That's how far back that went.
Nice.
I think it was back then.
The other song that I heard was another total jam. Was you remember Hole, right? Courtney Love's band.
Mm-hmm.
Their cover of Fleetwood Mac's "Gold Dust Woman."
Haven't heard it.
Phenomenal. So good. It's like a rock version of that song. The guitar in that song just hits. It is just.
I don't know the original, so it'll be new for me regardless.
Gold Dust Woman is a really slow. You've heard it. Maybe you didn't know it, but I'm sure you've heard it. It's very slow, but this Hole's cover of it speeds it up a little bit, and it is awesome. So that I would throw that on your to-do list. This is the original.
I'm trying to play
Gold
my
Dust
headphones
Woman.
without having it go and be recorded, so we don't get a copyright strike.
All right. That never played. Yeah. I could barely hear it.
Okay.
But yeah, so check that out if you come across it sometime.
All right, I'll add it to my list here.
Yeah, those two, really good. Speaking of really good, something came along my Google feed. The latest Latent Space thing came across my. All of a sudden, I was on my computer earlier today, and it just came up as an update or a thing I needed to pay attention to. It said Latent Space. I forget the name of the song, but it was something that I guess was new.
Yeah, I put on a couple more the next couple days.
Yeah.
Took a little bit of a break. Been working on, just didn't have enough time. But yeah, that's still, the channel is still growing, I guess. And, people come and go. When you don't put out stuff thing all the time, I don't think people, stick with it. But yeah, I had some free time. So I was like, all right, let me work on a couple of these other things. And I feel like the Latent Space is like my training, breeding ground, kind of experimental, see what I like, see what sticks. And again, most of this is just for me, stuff that I like. It's like, throw it up on a channel somewhere. Maybe other people like it, and some do, but have like one spot. And that's sort of the reason why I do the other, Spotify and stuff like that too.
So
just makes it easier.
So Stead States is where we're serious.
Yes, because that costs money.
Let me see if I can put it this way. Latent Space is more of a playground.
It is a playground, and the reason
Stead States is for real.
Yeah, because it costs money.
Right. Exactly.
And I wanted to use the Latent Space, but there's already an artist called the Latent Space. Or there's an artist called Latent Space, and it would have been too much of a hassle to try and like differentiate. And,
sure.
When I start touring, around the world, as that I don't want to have any problems. And Stead States is clear of any copyright issues.
I could see the Stead States stadium tour, like 2027 type thing.
Yeah. It'll be like me as a DJ, right? I'll just have the tracks. I'll press play in Spotify, and then I'll just pretend, right? I'll do like, the pretend scratching of the records and, the mix-ups and the mashups.
Like the new David Guetta type thing. You know who that is?
Yeah, but way more talented.
Oh, okay. Then you could be this version of Pauly D from what the fuck is that show? Jersey Shore. He's a big world famous DJ.
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah. You don't watch Jersey Shore, Jeff? Come on.
No, can't say that I have. Sorry.
It's actually pretty funny. I don't watch it all the time, but I've seen it a few times. It's actually pretty entertaining.
I just looked up the channel statistics, and in the last couple of days, had 100 views of different videos on.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, it's fine. Take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Voltage Funk came out today, February 1st at midnight.
I think that was the one that showed up on my computer.
Yeah. You probably have like a notification or something, or like.
Yeah, well, I am a subscriber
on the feed.
So,
are you? Okay, good.
Yes, well, of course. Hey, I support. I try to anyway.
Yeah, there is. I'm not sure how many tracks are out there. 80. I put my glasses on. 81. Is that right? Yeah,
81
there's 81 tracks out on that channel so far, and I've got another one tomorrow. the next 3 days have stuff, and then I have like a mega mix for the first time that I've kind of put out. That's like a 21-minute long thing that has a bunch of different kind of tracks just all lumped into one.
Maybe I'll reference it in like an Instagram or a Facebook. Be like, guys, have you heard of this? This is like this is crazy. You got to hear this.
Yeah, right. Have it go viral.
TikTok. I don't think
actually, no, people are not using TikTok anymore. People since the TikTok has changed ownership and it's like owned by like MAGA now. People are getting rid of it.
Yeah, nothing I put out tends to go viral, so I don't see me helping you in that era, or that realm or whatever you want to call it. But I can sure try.
Hey, look, it's AI music. I spend time on it. Either you like it or you don't. That's fine.
Yeah. No, I told you I put it on in the background while I work. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because local sports radio is just annoying. The midday show here in Chicago is just it's just stupid.
I saw what's his name? Terry Boers died recently.
Terry Boers did pass away. And for those of you who don't know, he was on the score for 25 years. He retired, it was like 9 years ago, but he was, Boers and Bernstein. He was the Heavy Fuel Crew.
Who you crappin'?
He was the originator of Who You Crappin'.
Mm-hmm.
When he asked Mike Ditka the question. He was part of the Heavy Fuel Crew with him and McNeil on the early days of the score. He's original score guy. They did like a 7-hour tribute to him this week on the radio, and it was pretty interesting. He was definitely a no nonsense, tell it like it is. He would tell callers basically where to go if you didn't agree with him or anything like that. But very entertaining guy. So yeah, it was. I think he was 75. I think.
All right. They say what was the cause of death?
They didn't. I know his health, I think, had been falling last few years. Wasn't in that great of health, but
Looks like liver failure.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they ever publicly talked about it on the radio, but a lot of past score people and things like that came back. Even Dan Bernstein, who was fired late last year for trolling a person on Twitter, they allowed him back in the studio, and he was on for good half hour talking about him and Boers and stuff like that, which I thought was cool. I think Bernstein is kind of a tool, but it was definitely appropriate to have him back, and it's cool that they did that. So
yeah, all right. He did his thing. Nike, there's a door. See you later.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of sad. That I don't think anybody really expected that, because they don't talk about him, and then suddenly he had passed away, and it was like the main topic of discussion on the score for a couple of days, and is what it is. So, but yeah, man. Other than that, there's not much going on. I got to go to Milwaukee tomorrow, the booming metropolis of Milwaukee. So that'll be fun.
I'm coming to Chicago.
Nice.
March. I'm speaking at a conference downtown March 3rd.
Okay.
And then I don't know what I'm doing yet before or after that.
Where in Chicago?
The Hyatt by the river.
Okay.
Somewhere down by the Loop. Somewhere down there. I don't know. One of those things. Like a day-long conference thing, and I'm moderating a panel on something. I have no idea what I'm moderating. And I have no idea who I'm moderating it with, but hey, I'm doing New York the week before that, and then I'm doing Chicago the week after that. So I'll be in New York the week before, at least Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I might just fly from New York to Chicago instead of coming home.
That's like the world tour.
I haven't figured it out yet.
You sound like a true performer. Yeah, I'm doing New York on this day. I'm doing Chicago. It's it could be the FOJ World Tour. Who knows?
It could be. I do a lot of conferences, right? And
I know you do.
I've started to do more on stage stuff. So I like moderating because I think it's the easiest gig. all you're doing is asking questions and
And then you let the
filling
experts take
time
over.
and like just setting the table. Like, all right, here's what we're going to talk about. Introduce yourself. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it. First question. Blah blah blah. Right, and get into it, and then just have a conversation. It's very much like this.
And then the panel takes over, and then
yeah, you kind of facilitate. Like I said, you moderate. You ask the questions. You make sure everyone's involved.
then before you know it,
throw in
time's
some
up.
color. Yeah, and that's it. I'll tell you, last year I did this. The same conference. We got up on the stage, and like I think it was supposed to be 4 people on the panel, and it was me and 4 people, and 2 people didn't show up or whatever.
Oh,
And so that became me and 2 people, and we were supposed to go for 45 minutes, and we get on the stage, and the timer on the stage says 25 minutes. Like,
I think did we talk about this?
I think we might talk about this. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're shortening things up. It was like, and they just didn't tell me. So that's fine. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I made a comment. I was like, oh, we've only got a couple minutes left here, and the guy in the back was like looked at me, and then he looked at the clock, and he's like, oh shit. And they added another 20 minutes, and we were like already like 3/4 of the way through like what we had planned. And so I was like, all right, I'm sitting there, standing on stage trying to figure out how I'm going to stretch for another 20 minutes with only like 2 questions left and like 2 other guests who weren't very verbose, let's just say.
Sure. So how did I don't remember how I remember talking about the situation. How did you get through that? Like how would you ad lib your way through an extra 20 minutes with 2 people that aren't real talkative?
Well, you just start coming up with questions. So it's like, okay, honestly, I don't know, because it's just like it's an area that I know, and so it's kind of easy for me. It's like, okay, how do we educate like people on this? What do people think? It's cybersecurity, so like, what do people need to be thinking about in the specific topic? And I knew the topic, so it was like, all right, let's go this way, and then hopefully the panelists will come along with me and see what happens. And they were fine, but they're not like, they don't do this all the time either. I think that's one of the things where it's like, okay, those types of things will happen. I can say that's the first time that's happened to me, where it's like, oh, the clock is wrong. I've been part of like scenarios where the hardware doesn't work for whatever reason. Slides don't work. Mics don't work. Right? Things
technical
like that.
difficulties. Yeah.
Yeah, technical difficulties. Yeah, things. But this was the first time I was like, oh shit, I gotta like come up with 20 more minutes. So I sat there on the fly, just like while they were talking, I was thinking about, okay, what are my next 2 or 3 questions that I could ask, and then kind of work from that. And then fortunately, we had some questions from the audience, and so that kind of helped as well.
I say, what's your average audience? About 500?
It depends on the conference. Could be a couple thousand to 100. Like this thing in Chicago is small. It's like maybe 250, 300 people, I think. The bigger conferences might have 3,000 attendees, something like that.
Really?
Like in Las Vegas. It really just depends. Most of the time they're pretty small, because you're one of like 50 other things that are all taking place at the same time.
Now, I think I've asked you this before, but I'm going to ask you again. Do you get nervous?
Sometimes, but once it starts, it's like, all right, that goes away.
You're just kind of doing it.
Yeah, it's usually more like maybe 5 minutes before, or maybe the night before, and it's like, okay, here's what we're doing. Are we on the same page? And then it's like, all right, showtime, and then it just kind of like kicks in. I try to pick stuff that I know that I'll be decent at. Like, I'm not a keynote speaker. Like, that's just not my thing. Like, I'm more of a moderate the panel. Like, hey, let's coordinate. Like, do the podcast. Like, just have a conversation, right? I'm not up there like presenting.
You're not up
the
there for 30
things.
Minutes. The 30 minutes,
exactly, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I might be up there for that long, but it wouldn't be like just me. I'm usually doing something. Like, I'll run game shows, which I have a lot of fun with. That's been pretty popular, like that kind of thing. But yeah, people have asked me to keynote stuff, and I don't want to. Like, it's just not me. At least not right now. I'd much rather be a facilitator, a John Stockton type. An MC type. That's really been my role. It's more of like an MC type thing.
Master of ceremonies. I like that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Which is fine. Good. So I have a pretty good relationship with this company that does like a lot of these events, and they like what we do on our other podcasts. And so,
now, does your podcast partner participate in this stuff as well, or?
The company, yes. So there's a big conference in Las Vegas that we definitely partner with. They give us, free tickets and publish, spots so we can record stuff like that, and we obviously promote it and stuff like that. This thing that I'm doing in Chicago is the same company. I attend as the podcast, but I don't do anything at the for the podcast. Like I'm not recording anything live.
Right.
No, I'm just there, like literally as like a speaker, essentially.
Yeah, but does the guy you do your cybersecurity podcast? Does he do stuff like what you're doing as well, or
not as much? No, not as much.
Okay.
Like he does it from time to time, but I've been doing more of it for the last couple of years now.
Do they like you better?
I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Maybe, I guess, or maybe I'm just a sucker because I'm willing to travel and,
yeah.
I can find a reason to be in most states and I have clients everywhere. So it's like, all right, I'm going to be here so I can draw. So I have, I've probably got like a dozen people who are, coming to see me in Chicago that are like clients.
Okay.
New York is like maybe half a dozen. And so I kind of use an excuse to bring clients in and say, hey, I'm going to speak at this conference. Here's some free passes if you can attend, right? Stuff like that.
And the company that you work for is still all on board with you doing things for the for your podcast and things like that because they benefit from it, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just ran some numbers and, for them, it's like we have like a partner, it's not like a formal partnership. It's like, hey, here's the benefits that are coming.
Yeah.
They've gotten easily, like, we're into the $100,000 or more of like benefit with like free tickets and booth space and like all this, like just the conference side of things, and not even like deals that are what we would say like influenced by the podcast.
So it's well worth it
in the
for
tens
them
of millions
to,
at this point.
Yeah, so it's well worth it for them to allow you to do this.
Oh yeah, for sure. And look, it doesn't really conflict. It's part of my job and my space. And it'd be different. It was like, oh, I'm doing a sports podcast. Like, I'm not bringing FOJ show right to my to my work life. Like, just there's no overlap there whatsoever.
Well, Jeff, we need to discuss that because you have the audience in your work life. And kidding, of course.
Yeah, we did almost 1 million downloads last year.
That's wild.
Just last year alone in 2025. Pretty nuts. And we just did episode 400. Actually, we just recorded it, so it'll go live in a couple weeks. But
I can't believe. Now, granted, you said you're getting. I know people are paying to be on it, like you're getting sponsored episodes and stuff. How are you not? And maybe you are. I don't know. Are you profiting at all from this?
Nope. It is nonprofit, and
so what do you,
all
so
money
what do you,
that goes.
Yeah.
Into
What do you
it
do with the money? What do you do with it?
Pays for the expenses. Running a podcast is expensive, and travel is expensive. I just booked a hotel for Germany for a week because I'll be going to Berlin in May.
But the podcast pays for that. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's run as a nonprofit. It is a IRS 501c3, so it is a public charity.
Could you change that at some point?
I could, but I think it would, like, you can't just take the money as a charity and just like convert it into like, oh, that's mine now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And you could only carry really a certain amount of money before the IRS is like, all right, you guys are making like too much money. Like, what's going on here?
You pay taxes on it, yeah.
Well, you don't pay taxes on it. It's more of like that might jeopardize your charity status.
That's like right now, though, right?
What do you mean? What do you mean right now?
So charity status, because you said you're a regular. What is it? 501.
501c3. It's a IRS designated charity type. Yeah. So we're basically tax deductible.
Right. So as long as you keep that money funding back into the podcast and you don't take a dime, you can do that.
I could take money out of it, like as like a salary or something, but we do not. So we purposely do not take money because that might cause a conflict for our day jobs, which actually pays the bills. So the money that is donated to the podcast by sponsors, they pay a fee, and we do work with them. That pays for the cost of running the show, which means hardware, microphones, cameras.
Is it that expensive?
I put $30,000 into this of my own money in the first 3 years. I will never see that money back. I don't think.
Really?
I could if I wanted to, but it's a sunk investment at this point because we didn't turn nonprofit until like 2 years ago.
I gotcha.
But the first 3 years, I funded this almost 99.9% of the money was out of my pocket.
Now, looking back on it, would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely. It did
Okay, then.
more for my like
Professional
professional life
career.
than anything
Yeah.
else that I've done. Yep. But it was a
Cool.
long road. I mean, like I said, it's been
Oh, I bet.
6.5 years now, and I'm pretty sure I have this job that I have because of the podcast.
Uh-huh.
The benefits that I get from it, like from speaking and stuff like that. I've built a huge network of people that I can reach out to if I have questions or if I lose my job. But consulting is a fickle business.
Yeah,
Not great time right now. If I get laid off, which is like anyone else, I feel like I could reach out to somebody in my network and find something, relatively quick.
What do you think?
I turn the podcast into a real moneymaker.
Yeah. What do you think caused your podcast to kind of take off? Like, what did you change anything, or did you just kind of broaden the audience by going to conferences and things like that?
Conferences was the big thing. The other thing was consistent. Every Monday morning, a new episode for 6.5 years.
Uh-huh.
Through rain or shine, hurricanes.
You've never missed.
The only time I take time off, and it's specific, is like Christmas and New Year's. It's usually like 2 or 3 weeks around like kind of that holiday. I kind of shut things down and like, all right, like that's it.
Everybody does. So yeah, I get
right,
it.
Exactly. And it's just a known thing. Hey, we're done for the year. We'll see you in January, and then we kind of shut it down. But I don't think we've missed a Monday in like the 6 years we've been doing it. And if anything, we average like 65 episodes a year. So it's actually more than one a week.
Yeah, no, I know you guys do a lot.
Yeah, so we do like one a week is like a normal, vendor neutral, no commercials, no sponsorships. That's sort of like our meat and potatoes. And then we'll do a sponsored episode maybe once, twice a month. And that's how we pay the bills. And then any money that comes in, now that we have extra money, like, yeah, let's go to Berlin and go to this conference. Because going to conferences is how we became known. You get listeners. Every time we go to a conference, we see a spike. We get new listeners. And then that means the conference wants us to come back because now we're promoting them. And it just kind of stuff. And now we're like the official podcast of like most of these conferences that we go to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how. I mean, and maybe not, because we don't talk about anything really specific. Or anything. We don't talk about stuff that people really want to know about.
We don't talk about things that matter.
Well, yeah. I just sometimes wonder. Okay, what would it take to get our show kind of off the ground? You know what I'm saying?
More listeners.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's it.
How do we get that?
If you're listening and you like this show, tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's how we grew the other one. 0 commercials. It was all word of mouth. And, it took 4 years to get off the ground, really. We did 2,000 downloads in the first year.
Okay, so it's an average of what, like 40?
And that was after 26 episodes. I think we did like 2,000, something like that. So it was like about 90. It was like 90 episodes, or 90 downloads.
90 downloads per episode, sure.
Yeah, and we're nowhere close to that.
Right. Yeah.
But that's how it starts. This is like, the other thing too is we're not a niche, right? We're kind of just like two dudes talking.
We just sit here and BS. I know.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And this is like listening to a phone conversation of us catching up for the week. 2 friends, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I feel like we kind of niche into football more than anything else because that's our common. Yeah. That's our main common.
That's our common ground.
Is football with a little bit of music, a little bit of movies, a little bit of TV. I touch on the baseball once in a while. You think it's boring. I talk on, the Bulls. They just absolutely suck. So they're no fun to talk about.
That's my fault again. Sorry for buying the week pass.
Hey, Tsusumu had 29 points in a win over the Heat the other night. But anyway, the Blackhawks are still growing and, up and coming. They're young and struggling and, they're in a rebuild, right? So, they're tough to talk about sometimes. So, it's going to be interesting because now that the Bears are gone, well, they're not gone. Are they really ever gone? But, there's no games to talk about. So,
right, yeah. Now it's the off season and all the speculation. It's just how much can you talk? It's sports radio without the audience, essentially, right? Or without the knowledge, right? That we don't have any inside access. It's just two dumbasses sitting on a couch watching. I'm not even in the market of the team that I'm cheering for. You are, at least.
Yeah, I try and stay in tune as much as I can. Like I said, sometimes the guys on the score in the midday just bug the hell out of me, so I shut them off. Um, I'll listen to the guys in the morning sometimes. I'll listen to the guys on the drive home sometimes when I'm out and about. But lately, ever since the Bears have been done, it's been more music than anything. So,
Mhm.
Trying to get back in touch with what I like and what I enjoy, which is mainly rock music and, heavy metal and, with a splash of this and a splash of that. But, you know,
Mhm.
I just,
They
I
say,
want to talk about what people would be interested in. But
well, that's
I
the
guess I
thing is
don't,
the riches are in the niches. That's what they say.
yeah.
And so you have to have like a niche. And, my other one is a very specific niche
Oh,
in
absolutely.
cybersecurity. Right. So that's
Absolutely.
like there. The other ones are politics, which
Yeah.
one of us is
That's,
going to get canceled at any given point, depending on who we're talking to.
yeah.
Um,
That's a tough
the other
one.
one, it's there are like what do we call like fan casts. So like,
Yeah.
hey, we're talking all things Marvel. We're talking all things Star Wars or Star Trek. Like you're in a very specific fandom. Sports is another
Yeah.
one, but I feel like sports is all over the place because there's so many of them. The other
Sports
one's
is
like
very,
comedy.
yeah, sports is very general. Yeah. I, I believe me, I would love to have more listeners. I mean, look, if we keep doing this, I think we'll get somewhere with it. I hope we're interesting. I try to be interesting.
Our audience is 64% age 45 to 59. So
Well,
maybe we can become the
that's
official podcast of the
that's
AARP.
I was going to say that's our demographic, unfortunately.
Right. Because that's how old we are, right? And then our next biggest audience is 28 to 34.
I think
And we have a 96.1% male audience.
I wonder who the females are because my wife doesn't listen. I know
My
that.
wife doesn't either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We have listeners, but
Uh-huh.
Wisconsin, Indiana.
Yeah,
But
but is that all
it's
time or is that consistently?
that's all time. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. 900 plus downloads so far. About
Okay.
14 people listen to every episode.
Okay.
So if those 14 people, whoever you are,
Well, damn it. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. Well, first of all, thanks. I hope you enjoy it, or whether you like it or you just hate listen. I guess thanks for listening either way.
Well, that's like the Howard Stern theory. Remember Private Parts, the movie where they talked about the average Stern listener who enjoys the show listens for like an hour, yet the average Stern listener that absolutely hates the show listens for like 2.5 hours.
I don't know if we say anything that would be like
Controversial.
want people to hate us, but we can have opinions. But hey, if we're wrong, if you think I'm wrong, tell me. Right? I am perfectly happy to say, oh yeah, I was wrong and my opinion has changed. That's a great thing about an opinion. You can change it.
Yes.
You do not have to be stuck with it. Which I
Yeah.
think is I wish more people would consider that instead of
Well,
dying on the hill for no reason.
Yeah, especially nowadays, it's so hard. I think people have kind of dug in
Oh yeah.
on their stances on the things that are going on, and I think that's a shame. And I'm saying this for both sides. I'm not saying it for whatever, because believe me, I've internally I've questioned myself more in the past year than I think I ever have.
I think that's healthy.
And I think
And I think that's actually human. Like
yeah,
if you're not having that inner monologue right now,
yeah.
you've got other problems.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not saying that, hey, I'm ready to say, I was wrong or the other guys are wrong or whatever, but there's just a lot going on that I think really makes you question kind of everything, and I
Yeah.
don't believe me.
I'm not afraid. Look, I think it's bullshit.
Yeah,
Everything
we're
that's
an
happening in
hour,
Minnesota is
yeah,
absolute bullshit.
we're an hour and 40 into this, so I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to totally get into
People
it,
stopped
but
listening about an hour 39 minutes,
that's
an
true.
hour 39 ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to really trust anything these days. I think it's tough. We had a chat with our kids today. Baseball. They're 14, and we have one kid who's kind of struggling in school, and his parents asked us to talk to him. So instead of talking to him directly, we kind of talked to the entire team and kind of I was standing there and we're talking through all the outside noise that kids deal with today and how different it is now as opposed to
Yeah.
when it was when I was a kid or when you were a kid or
I
coaches were kids.
have no idea how parents do it today. I don't
No,
have an idea how kids do it today because their entire life has been recorded in one
yes,
way or another.
yes. And we talked about, obviously, we gave them the drugs talk, the alcohol talk, um, the girls talk, all that stuff. We were just talking about all these things that can distract you from what you're trying to achieve. But there's also the social media
Now,
talk.
what if I'm trying to achieve drugs and girls?
Well, if you are, I think you could get there pretty easily these days. But, the schoolwork, but
Yeah.
add to that the social media. Everybody, like you said, everything's recorded. The cell phones, the bullying, the just the constant need for connection that you have on a phone. Everything, is just basically at your fingertips, and it's all a matter of self-control and managing and making decisions that make sense and not letting a snap decision that you came to in 30 seconds potentially ruin the next 30 years of your life type stuff. And I can't imagine what it's like to be a kid today. Like you just said,
Yeah.
there's just so
Or
much.
parent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how do you,
I mean,
you can coach as much as you can, but just
At
so
the
many different ways to get distracted and to go off the beaten path.
at the end of the day, you have to hope you did everything you could and kind of hope for the best.
Yeah. So what happens if you? I mean, I don't want to get into a full philosophical session an hour 45
Yeah.
minutes into it, but what happens? When do you call it quits? Like, this is just, it's not going to work. Like, this kid is gone. I've tried my best, and as a parent, I don't know if you necessarily ever fully write them off, but at some point, what do you do when, how do you call for help? How do you rescue that kid?
That's a great question, and I don't know if there's a direct answer to that. We told the kids
We
today.
can save that for after the Super Bowl if you want.
Yeah.
during our off season.
We basically told the kids today because we just kind of have heard through channels that a couple of them have stuff going on outside of baseball and things like that and schoolwork and stuff like that. But we basically said, look, if there's ever anything that you're uncomfortable with telling mom and dad that you've got an issue with, because that shit comes up. I'm sure it happened to you. It happened to me. There was stuff I didn't want to tell my parents about. The best you could do is just tell them, hey, we're available for you. If you want to bounce something off me. And I said, look, especially me, because I don't have a kid on this team. So it's not like anything you could tell me. I could go tell my son and then it could come back to you and things like that. So just to basically, I think all you can do is just tell them that you're available and you're there and nothing you could say is going to shock me. It's a safe space. And again, you hope they use it. When do you write them off? I think you write them off. I think when you've exhausted all options. And let's face it, there are some kids out there that unfortunately, I think that they can't be rescued or they just don't want to. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. It's awfully hard. And I've come across that in the past where you could do anything and everything for somebody and they just don't give a shit or they don't receive it or whatever. And eventually you just stop trying.
I think everybody has come across that at some point in their life.
Yeah.
Either they know somebody or it's them and they don't know it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do know it. Yeah.
Maybe they do know it and don't know what to do about it. Or
talk to somebody.
They're just resigned to the fact that this is what it is.
Or maybe there's a physical component to it, right? There's some sort of medicine or something that will help with some of it, right? That's something they don't have that treatment. I mean, what the hell? I mean, Kanye just put out a letter in Wall Street Journal apologizing to, all the things that he said for
Oh, I didn't know.
anti-Semitism.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Took out a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal. And he's been sort of like the poster child of like mental health and like what the heck, for some of the things he's done. Now, it doesn't absolve him of what he's done, but is it a step to say, hey, I've made mistakes and I'm getting treatment and I'm sorry? That's a step.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting because I heard an interview with his ex-wife, and she said that he's like barely involved with their kids, and and some of the things he does is actually she feels is detrimental to their kids and things like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's best to stay away from them. I mean, how do you manage that? How do you deal with that? How do you if you're a parent and you don't agree with how the other parent operates with your kids, how do you deal with that? I don't know. Luckily, I haven't had to deal with that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I think there is danger, right? If there is a danger, either physically or mentally for the child, you've got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Remove them from that situation, whatever that takes. And then sort of deal with it. Now, that causes its own set of problems, not only for the child, but also for you too now, right? Like, okay, what happens? You end up with like, this very fractured family dynamic. Parents hate each other. Kids don't know what the hell's going on. Or maybe they do and they've picked sides. I don't know.
Yeah, I could tell you that, yes, I can just tell you that, yes, that does happen. And it's very hard to overcome, and it's very hard to get past for both the parents and the kids. So,
yeah. And they may never get past it either.
No.
And that just is what it is. I think, what you can do is you've got the family you're born with and the family that you choose.
Yeah, and it's not always the same.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Case in point. I mean, that's just the way it works.
Yeah. No, I mean, not everybody's perfect.
But you can absolutely remove yourself from situations, especially as you get older.
Yes, you can.
Extricate yourself from a situation that is not helpful to you. Cut people out of your life if they are not helpful.
It's a lot easier, I think, to do that when you're older.
As you get older, you can't do it as a kid, obviously, but at some point, as you get older, you will have the opportunity to just say, "That's it."
Yeah, like, I'm done.
This isn't healthy for me, and this isn't going to change, and there's no path to redeeming it. You cut out the cancer.
The sad thing is, and a lot of that, I think, is happening right now.
Absolutely.
Based on
and political divisions have absolutely
more than I've ever seen it, to be honest with you. And it's again, it's from both sides. I think what's happening has triggered so many people in so many different ways, and they are just they've had enough, and it's sad. I think it's awful because a lot of people can't have the conversation that sometimes you and I have, and they just are. They're neither not willing to do it, or they just don't want to, or it's not worth it to them, and that's sad.
I don't think you change minds by not talking.
No, 100%.
But at some point, talking isn't going to be good enough.
No.
And as evidence becomes whatever the definition of insurmountable is, I might feel it's there, at some point. Hey, something's going to end up having a break. Yeah. We end up either in a civil war or January 6th or Minnesota, as we see it now. Like, there's just so much bullshit going on, and everything's a distraction.
Yeah, it sucks. I fully admit it sucks.
Did you get tickets to go see Melania?
No, I did not, and nor do I plan to.
It is really absolutely getting torched in the reviews.
Yeah, no, I know.
What do you think of Amazon spending $50 million for that? That has to be like the worst money laundering, most transparent money laundering way to get money into Melania Trump and curry favor. No, come on, Come
Here's
on,
my
man.
here's my thing.
Jeff Bezos is not stupid.
I know a lot of that is calculated, but the people who think that calculated move is going to turn out well, it's just stupid. I don't. Yeah, you could have called that. I could have called that. I could have said,
Hmm.
really, in the state of the country right now, you're going to put out the life story of the first lady and think that it's going to go over well. Come on. What
Who
are we
is
doing?
uninteresting and has no role and is not a like
Yeah,
really anything to do with it.
what are
You
we
know who
doing?
made up money? You know who made out of it? Melania. She got $25 million for it.
Right, and it's like, what are we doing? Why is
Yeah.
that even out there? I don't get it. I don't get it. But
It's a way to curry favor. Got big pockets. Hey, let's go make a movie.
I just hope, and I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime or your lifetime. I hope it happens in my kid's lifetime. I just hope that somehow the country gets past all this. It's going to take a long time.
I think it's gonna be a very long time.
A
I think
very
what it's
long
done
time.
is it's exposed realities of
The
people
underlying,
who
yes.
the underlying, but also people being able to accept behavior basically and look past it
Well, and
for
people
any
are,
number of reasons.
well, and they're also willing to display behavior that they weren't willing to do before,
Oh yeah.
or they
You remember
didn't,
when Obama
or they
wearing a tan suit was like the worst thing that ever happened in the
yeah,
entire world?
right, or they didn't think they could do before, but now they
Yeah,
feel
it's
like, hey,
emboldened. There's a
I'm going to throw
reason
it
you
out
see
there.
white supremacy rising right now, and you see all this behavior is because it's been normalized.
So
And there's extremism everywhere, but
yeah,
I think it's gonna be a very
that's
long time, and I think a lot of people are very disappointed with the people that we thought the country that we thought we were, we aren't really.
yeah, exactly, and I think it's disappointing to one see what is happening, and two to see how it's being handled, and three how it's being perceived by the media and the public, and just it's kind of snowballing, and that sucks because I'm
Yeah.
sure Minneapolis isn't the last place this stuff is going to happen. It's not,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know,
It's a distraction. If the administration was serious about enforcing immigrants and enforcing the law right for immigration,
which it should
why
be.
would they start?
Not,
And it
which
should
it
be.
yes.
Do you know who deported the most immigrants over the
I
last 20 years?
I think Obama was.
Obama by a long
Yes,
shot.
yes, I know.
Um, so, but why would you
But
start in
but
Minnesota?
but you never knew that. See, that's the thing. You
No,
like if
that's
this
fine
wasn't even a thing,
because they
you
were
never
actually
know.
following due process.
Yeah. See,
They're not
what's
snatching kids off the street. They're not tear gassing. They're not shooting U.S. citizens. This has been just one antagonizing thing after another, and at some point, it's going to give.
the problem. And yeah, but you have to admit half the problem is the way it's being protested as well. But I understand. I get it. I get it.
I heavily disagree with 99.9% of the protesting is not that.
Well, I disagree with that, but I also understand that people have had enough. They've decided that peaceful protest isn't working. It's
Yeah.
not stopping
And that's going to be a real problem.
Then it's going to be a huge problem. And
Exactly. But why are they in Minnesota?
just like it was with all the George Floyd shit, it was peaceful protest didn't work, and a bunch of cities, had fires and burned and all that shit, and people were upset, and
yeah, people are going to react.
yeah, exactly.
There's clearly something broken with the system.
Exactly. And
but again, why are they in Minnesota? Why is Minnesota the focal point? A state that is not even the top 10 for undocumented immigrants.
I don't know. I don't really answer that.
Oh, you know. It's retaliation because it is a democratic state that has antagonized the president. That is exactly why. If it really was about undocumented immigrants, they would be in California, Texas, and Florida. Those are the top 3 states.
But I'm just asking, if it's somebody who's antagonized the state, how come they didn't stay here, Chicago? Pritzker has
They're
been,
coming in the spring.
well, that's the rumor. Why
That's
wouldn't
the
they have
rumor,
stayed?
right?
Why wouldn't they have stayed here all winter though? Pritzker's been more
They,
outspoken against him than just about anybody outside of Gavin.
yeah, yeah. But you don't see it happening in the red states, though.
No,
Like I
you
said,
don't.
it's not happening in California either, which is the biggest. Texas, you're not seeing this type of enforcement taking place. It's clearly punitive. Anybody can see that from the outside. It's like, there's no reason to be in Minnesota right now. Is there a problem? Yes. But you know what? We have laws, and people go through due process. They're literally snatching U.S. citizens off the street, deporting them, or sending them to Texas, and then realizing, oh, you know what? Oh, we'll figure it out later. But for now, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Like I said,
That's not the way the law works.
I don't like the way it's being executed at all. I don't.
Well, good. That should be what everyone's thinking. Like, this is not being executed the way it should be.
Right.
There is a due process. There is a process for this. You do not, tear gas a school because you're hoping to catch parents that are dropping their kids off that might be undocumented.
I am 100% in agreement on that. There's no way.
Like it's a shit show, and this is just the latest distraction. It's Epstein. It's going into Venezuela and kidnapping a president. Now, is the president there? Is the Maduro a good person? No, he's a piece of shit too. But that opens the door. Like, okay, can somebody come to that and do that to the U.S.?
Let me ask you this, and this is an honest question. Do you really, because I know a lot of people believe this, and I'm not saying I don't, I'm just asking the question. Do you really think that all of this stuff, whether it was the Venezuelan thing, the Minnesota thing, all this stuff is an honest-to-God distraction over the Epstein thing?
Yes.
So a lot of people believe that.
I think it's self-perpetuating. So it is one distraction of another, and that has been this administration's tactic from the very beginning. If everything is outrageous, how do you even focus on it? Every week, every day, there's something stupid, insane, and frankly illegal. Almost everything that this administration has done has been found to be illegal. The problem is they're going in, they're doing it anyway, and by the time they do it, and they're like, oh, you can't do that, it's illegal, don't do that anymore. The damage is already done. And so every time you put something out, it's like, okay, the Epstein files didn't come out when they were supposed to. Was there any repercussion whatsoever? No. Nothing happened. Mm-hmm. And then we go into Venezuela, another distraction. Okay, let's forget about Epstein for a couple minutes. Okay, now we go into Minnesota. We forget about Venezuela for a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. They just released a bunch of Epstein stuff last Friday, right? Okay, now if you're constantly trying to play whack-a-mole, that is the entire game plan.
Because I know
how do you be outraged 100% of the time? It's exhausting, and it's working.
It is exhausting, absolutely. Because we went from I don't know why the country is escaping my mind right now, but the whole Zelensky thing was a few months ago. Then it was acquiring Greenland became the topic of discussion, and then we talked about some of the protests.
We've pissed off every ally we have in the world, and there was a poll in Germany. Biggest threat to world peace, 41% said Donald Trump. And then it was Vladimir Putin at 9. No, it was Kim Jong-un at 9, and Vladimir Putin at 7. And then President of China, I can't remember his name, Xi, I think, was like 6%. The world thinks.
G,
it's not just U.S. Yeah, right. Xi Jinping. The world thinks Donald Trump is the greatest threat to peace in the entire world. A U.S. president. We've pissed off every ally we have. Canada, Norway, NATO, all these things. Is it look, I get, like, NATO, we do a lot of funding, right? We do that, right? That has to be fixed. But why would you piss off literally every single one of your allies and cozy up with Putin and others that are like that?
So do you think, what is
the strategy?
Well, beyond all that, what do you think is the main purpose for all that? What do you think, if you're in the mind, and I know you are totally against him, and I realize that. But when I ask you this question, what do you no?
I hope
What
it's
do you?
coming through loud and clear.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. What do you think is the reason behind why he does what he does?
It
Do you
seems to
think?
me
Do you think that
his entire strategy is vindictive, and this is a revenge presidency.
revenge presidency over the fact that Biden beat him the first time? Is that
No, it's anyone who's ever aggrieved him. Most of his stuff has been anti-Obama. He has taken a hammer to anything that Obama has done for whatever
why?
reason. I think Obama made fun of him at a press conference or
I was
a
going to
White
say
House
why?
correspondence
Why
dinner,
do you
and that
think
was
that
it.
is? Okay.
Because I think he's a thin-skinned, can't take a joke, he has zero empathy for humans,
So do you think
and
that this is
he's not an
all?
intelligent person.
This is all a just to feed his ego as I'm
He has
better than
conned
I'm
so
better
many
than all
people.
of you. I'm just
No, I
asking.
don't think he thinks that presidency alone
Oh, I know
through
that. I know that.
cryptocurrency.
Do you
He's here to
think?
make money, and he's conned so many people, and
Okay.
they're not willing to speak up anymore because he's created this movement of white nationalism, white Christian nationalism, which show me the Christianity in any of this, and there have been zero repercussions for him.
Do
He's
you
also
think?
surrounded by very smart people that are manipulating for other things. People like Stephen Miller.
What do you think happens when he's gone?
He would be in jail if he wasn't president.
Okay, but what happens in the next election?
I don't know because I don't know what's going to happen.
Like, do you think?
Like, is it JD Vance is coming next? I don't know. I don't.
Well, do you think? Okay, let
It
me
seems
ask you
like Trump
this.
doesn't like him.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. If Vance is the next, essentially, focal point of the Republican Party, the figurehead of the Republican Party, do you think that people think that he's going to continue the movement? That's what's happening right now, or do you think Vance says, "All right, Trump can't rerun. I can totally run on a different platform." Do you think he has the guts to do
No,
that?
because he found something that works. He's got
But does it?
48% of the vote.
But does it? Does it work?
Clearly. I mean, I think part of it is the Trump brand.
Mm-hmm.
And people like him because he's not a politician and blah, blah, blah. He's still a human piece of shit that is not good for anything. He is not a successful businessman. He bankrupts everything. He's bankrupting the U.S. at the moment. And he's a con man. He has empowered the worst of what the U.S. is supposed to be. And now that movement has taken over the Republican Party. I don't know what the future is for the Republican Party because I don't know what their strategy is.
What's the future for the Democratic Party?
I don't know because they don't have yeah, because this has never really happened in the U.S.
Because
before.
this isn't working. Yeah, because whatever they didn't work either. So,
Right.
Or do you think they're banking on the fact that Trump potentially is screwing up so much that no matter who they put in there, he's going to win?
I don't think you can win
he or
beat
she.
Trump. Yeah, I don't think you can win on just beat Trump. I think that's still 38% are going to be the diehards. They will never vote for anyone associated with Trump. And you've got 30% of the population that absolutely will vote anything to do with Trump because they just don't give a shit. Because it's owning the libs, right? For whatever reason.
Yeah.
But you've got the majority of the people in the middle who are just looking for a decent thing, and they're left with shitty choices on both sides.
Well, that's the thing. I think we've talked about this before. It's like, okay, 40% of people are going to vote Democrat, 40% of people are going to vote Republican, no matter who's fucking in there. It doesn't matter.
The battle is for the middle. That's why you're in a battle. That's why there's battleground states.
It's the middle 20. The middle 20%,
right.
Roughly, of the, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you going.
All over the place.
I didn't mean to get you going.
We haven't actually talked politics in a while, but I look around and I say, like, this is absolute bullshit. Anybody who even tries to justify it, like, come on.
I can't.
Like, it makes zero sense.
Again, in strictly talking immigration, I understand the goals and I agree with the goals, but I hate the execution of it. It's horrible.
Everything's more expensive, so even the economy, like the economy was supposed to fix day one. Like all, it's just one shit show after another, and there. What bothers me most is that there have been zero repercussions for anything. Dude's in the Epstein files all over the fucking place. It's very clear he's part of that, and yet people are like, that's fine, I don't care. Okay, what does it say about you then? We already know that people are in that thing, and it's not just the right? There's plenty of people, and I don't care who they are. If they were in the Epstein files, they're doing stupid shit.
Yeah, there's a ton of people.
Bad stuff.
There's a ton of people in those files.
Exactly.
And
the people who are willing to look past it and say, I don't care, like, what does that say about those people?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any of those people are held accountable for any of that stuff. And we'll see.
They're all rich and powerful, and the only people who are making out of this are the billionaires.
Yep.
All right, well, that's one way you can get listeners.
And on that note...
Start yelling at each other about politics.
Well, no, but what I like is that we can talk about it. And
we can talk about it, but it's just, I gotta be honest, it bugs me. It's like...
I know it does.
Like,
I know it does.
How can you just go along with it? Like, it just, at some point, like, what is, he literally came out when he first ran. It was like, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and people still vote for me. Well, guess what? They are. And they're still defending it. And they're still trying to, like, spin this. I don't know how you spin any of this with a reasonable, view of what a human is supposed to be thinking and doing.
I think all your points.
I have a hard time, like, trying to justify, like, what does that mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I totally hear you. I'm still, trying to. I don't want to say rationalize it because I can't. But yeah, I challenge myself to become more I don't want to say involved, but become more informed, because I've discovered that I need to be. I didn't used to think that way. I used to think, you know what? Outside of my four walls, I don't care. But it turns out that I do care. It turns out that I do care. I didn't think I cared as much as I do. Because...
Well, I think there's... It shouldn't get to this point.
It shouldn't. And I've discovered that when it does, it affects me more than I thought it would. And not to say, and I don't want you to think, well, shit, you don't care about other people. I do care about other people. And I think I've discovered that even as the older I get, I tend to tolerate more. I don't tolerate this kind of shit. I don't. And I'm glad I feel that way. I'm glad I feel that I can't tolerate that stuff. It does make me question, just a lot of things. So, and as a middle-aged guy, living, in southwest suburbs of Chicago, just trying to make ends meet and keep it moving. Yeah, I do need to care more about what's going on outside of my four walls. So
it's hard to care about things that don't affect you. No, it's not good. And I think anybody could see that, but it's hard to care about things that don't affect you directly.
Yeah.
But it is a domino. So the way I kind of think about this, and it was a cartoon that I saw, it was, basically like a row of buildings, apartment complex on fire.
Mm-hmm.
And, the fires are the different things that are taking place. And the people all the way in the one end of the apartment complex who are not affected, they're not affected until the fire gets to them. And then guess what? There's no one there to help them.
Right.
That's kind of where the way I kind of see this is like, it's just one thing after another. And if we're not doing anything to help those other people, who's going to help us?
The fire will get to you. You just got to,
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hear you. And on that note, we should probably end it there.
On that note. Prediction for the Super Bowl?
I think Seattle wins. I don't want to say pretty easily, but I think they win by at least a touchdown.
Think so? Let me look at the.
I don't know what
the spread right now is Seattle and 4.5.
Okay. Yeah, I think they win by like a touchdown. Just to throw it out there, I'll say I think Seattle wins like 31-24.
What a story for Sam Darnold.
How about it? His 5th team.
It'll be a Netflix documentary.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Honestly, I think it's a toss-up. And I'm not excited for the Super Bowl because I don't really care who wins.
I don't either.
You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, it's just like, okay, there's good storylines for either team. I think New England is a little bit sort of like, the Death Star, or whatever you want to call it, right? For the NFL, it's like they've just been there so often. It's like, how is it they're there again?
Yeah,
I think that's probably a very much anti-New England
how
contingent.
did Belichick go away, Brady go away, and they get back like 2 years later?
And right, like, come on, man, like, really? I hope it's a good game. We've got 2 really good teams. I do think Seattle is the better team, but I don't know who wins.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
hope
doing any prop bets?
No.
Are you doing any betting or anything?
No, I pretty much shut that down, to be honest with you.
All right. I think sports betting is one of the worst things that's ever happened for sports.
Here's the thing. Actually, it's funny you brought that up because we actually talked about that with the kids today too. Because it is very easy for anybody, even if you're under 21, to enter that world of online sports betting and talk about something that will ruin you quicker than just about anything. It's sports betting, and
even just the financial part of it. I think it's really bad for the sport.
To
allow betting.
Yeah, I haven't poured that much money into it, but and the one thing I don't have is an addictive personality. I've luckily never had issues with any of that, but I saw myself getting more into this than I ever have basically anything else. And it's like, okay, if I don't shut this down now, I'm not saying I was anywhere close, but it is something that could have become a problem. So it's like, you know what? I don't need to be into that. I don't need to, play with that. It was fun while it lasted. Like, I had a good time with the Sox Dodgers thing last year for a while, but it's the online gambling sites and casinos and all that stuff. They're there for a reason. Why? Because they make money. And how do they make money?
Exactly.
Because people like me lose money. That's how. So, it's just.
But I think just take that apart. Like, I just don't think betting is good.
No.
For the sport itself. Like, it's
not.
It permeates everything. It just, you can't watch Sunday football anymore without having DraftKings. And
right.
All the different hosts being, I'm sure they have to do it, right? It's their job is they have to read these ads and the overs and unders. And it's just like, I just don't think it's good for the sport. And I think it's a huge mistake to allow betting in sports.
Yeah. There are full on radio.
I don't care about the gambling part. I don't think it helps the integrity of the sport.
No, I agree. And because all it does is create problems. There is no positives that come out of it. There really isn't. And there's full on radio, full shows dedicated to gambling and dedicated to the lines. And, I stopped playing fantasy football for a long time for the simple reason of all I was doing was watching the ticker on the bottom. I couldn't enjoy a game, because I was watching to see, who scored and all that. And I really believe that that's why the Red Zone channel was created, was specifically for fantasy football. But, and I got back into it this year, but it was just for fun. And my son needed one more team. And I said, but in gambling, you're right. It takes away from my true love for the team that I root for and my love of the game. You're just focused on individual results and that's it. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun anymore. So I said, you know what? Enough.
Done and done.
That's right.
All right, man. I think it's our longest show ever. 2 hours.
Yeah, we're 2 hours
17 minutes and talking.
17 minutes. Yeah.
17. Yep.
On a non-football, no Bears, no nothing week.
Well, that's the thing, right? We can always find something.
Yeah.
I don't know what you need to talk about. You need to talk about. All right, 2 hours later. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Yeah. I want to still try and find some guests, and I love talking to you and stuff, but I think it'd be fun to have a guest or two, and some more laughs along the way, if you will. So.
Yeah, I'm done.
Cool.
All right, man.
I'll work on that.
Stay warm.
Yeah,
And
you
keep
do
your
the
dogs
same.
in your yard, man. I don't want to send the police back out there.
I will. Thank you. Yeah, I know. The next ticket I was told is like $300. It's like, okay, I got it.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.